Peace, everyone. Peace, everyone. Peace, everyone. It's your boy, it's your man, Amiel Burgess, aka the Spiritual Chef, aka united uniquely with all the light bearers of this planet, cooking up progress through a process that leads to results. Ooh, sigh. Inhaling that life force, that internal cooking, how we doing out there in the ethers. Quick story for Throwback Thursday. It's about perseverance and believing that whatever you're going through, you can get out of it. So back when I was in my 20s, I was running the streets, selling drugs and holding guns and doing this nonsense. And at that time, I was going through little spouts with my peoples and stuff like that. You know, I was in the streets with. And I decided that I was done. So when I left everything behind. Had a couple dollars in my pocket, left all my clothes, I left my poetry, I left birth certificates. I just was like, I was done. Like I was like done with a chapter. So I get back to New York. So at the time I was in Connecticut, I get back to New York, and staying with my aunt. And things are going good when you got money, but you know when things go out, money run out, and people have their ways, and you have your own. You know you got to leave. And then it went from my aunt's house, and I was staying with my pops. You know, and sometimes, you know, for me, my pops wasn't there as a kid. You know, he left when I was young. You know, pops did his thing, and so my mom's, you know, they broke up. So when I became a man and I moved in with him, I think it was you know, I'm older now, and he's in his ways, I'm in my ways, and you know, we try to make it work, but we bump heads a lot, and then you know, he kicked me out of the house. So now I'm homeless. Homeless at the time, I wasn't into to selling. You know, especially where I was at, just wasn't into it. Like I said, I left Connecticut, and so you know, I'm homeless, and you know, I remember having nowhere to go. Uncle wouldn't open the door, cousins wasn't there. Can't call back to Connecticut. So I remember sitting in the hallways, you know, 6 floors in Queensbridge. Once you go from the 6th floor, there's like a set of stairs, 2 set of stairs that take you to the roof. And I would sit on the top stairs, and I would just sit there all night. Couldn't sleep. How can you sleep on the stair? I don't know how people could be able to do that. I couldn't sleep. And I would watch the sun come up. And mind you, I was in my 20s. My mid-20s, something like that, my mid-20s. Not wondering what am I doing? Where am I going? How is this going to get better for me? And I was still kind of roaming and still kind of frustrated with myself and just how things was going. So one day, I get in contact with my cousin on my mother's side. He wanted to work with me. You know what I'm saying? Give me some extra money in my pocket so I'll be all right while I'm out here, you know, just trying to figure things out. So I set something up to where he can call my aunt's house and for me to, you know, meet up with him in Queensbridge so we can go with him. Because at the time he owned like a flower business delivery service, and then, you know, we was going to work together. And I think that was the flower delivery service, or it was when he was working with another company. But anyways, so I set it up for him to call my aunt's house. So I get up in the morning, you know what I'm saying, get ready to, you know, go out and work with him. And I'm knocking on my aunt's window, and my cousin won't let me in. And I'm like, yo, man, listen, you know, I need to get in. I got an important phone call. I really need to, you know, catch this phone call. Can you please let me in? And he's like, nah, I'm not getting up, you know. So then we got into a war of words, if you will. So I just left. I leave, I go to the store, try to get some change to call my cousin, let him know what's going on. And he comes in the store running with a bat and hits me in the arm with a bat. This arm right here. Fractures my arm. When he hits me, he runs. Boom, runs. So now I'm like in shock and I'm enraged. And I'm ready to hurt something. So I run back after him. I tell my uncle, we go to the house. I don't know my arm is fractured, but I want to fight. I'm ready to beat somebody up. He don't answer the door. My aunt, nobody answers the door. Nobody says nothing. So I go to the hospital because my arm is like in pain. I go to the hospital and to finding out my arm is fractured. I'm upset, I'm angry, disappointed. You know what I'm saying? This is my family. Like I'd rather take a one-on-one and win or lose than for you to hit me with a weapon. So now I'm ready to just like dead him. Like, I'm ready to take him off this planet. And I'm talking to my father, and I'm going back and forth with my father and my uncle, and I'm furious. And so my father says, man, listen, man, it's time for you to be a man and move on and grow up and have a better life for yourself. Like, killing him and doing something to him is not worth it. Or at the time, I felt like it had been worth it, but I just knew that, you know what? You're right. It's time for a change. So I went to the shelter system reluctantly because I just never knew about it at the time. I didn't want to go. I go into the shelter system, and I end up being on this place called Ward's Island in New York City, Manhattan. At the time, they had this place called Samaritan Village, and it was like a campus, like, cottages and, main building, and, they kind of treated it like a treatment program / shelter system. And I just knew that I had to do something better. So, I got my building apartment and maintenance certificate. And then one day I'm sitting in a group session, and I'm always like to give advice, and doing that all my life. And so my case manager, counselor, said, you know what, you probably be a good counselor. You know what I'm saying? I never thought about it at the time. And she told me about this thing called Act 1 training in the Bronx. So I ended up going to Act 1 school, and I ended up getting my KSAT-T. And I ended up becoming a drug counselor. At the time of me just leaving everything behind, I end up I stopped smoking weed and all that other stuff, and drinking and all that stuff, crazy. And I ended up becoming a drug counselor. And that was the start that changed my life forever. Because I became a father. Then I became a single father, raising my son since he was 3. But in those dark times, I believe the times when I, cried in my room and just didn't know why nobody believed in me, I believe that, I'm better, that something is waiting for me on the other side. So I persevered. So I tell you this story to tell you that there's going to be a myriad of different occasions in your life where life is going to seem like it got their foot on your neck. But you got to persevere. You got to keep going on. Because there's something greater for you. And it's important that your testimony be told to somebody else. Because one day somebody else is going to be going through something, and your testimony is going to match their pain. And their struggle is going to be a reminder that they too could get past whatever they're going through. Not just one story of my escapades of up and downs. That I went through in my life. But at the end of the day, it was the one that brought me to another crescendo, if you will, in my life where, you know what, it's time to man up, put up or shut up. And I believe that if that didn't happen for me, this video doesn't happen. I'm either probably dead or in jail. Because there's many a times that I could have killed somebody or been killed or been locked up in prison. But the universe had something better for me. So I don't give up and I don't give in. But just to let you know, on this Throwback Thursday, that what you go through, it's not who you are. It's not what you are. But it's how you overcame. It's your boy, it's your man, Amiel Burgess, aka the Spiritual Chef. Bright moments to you all. Peace.